a couple disclaimers in the beginning. Uh, what I'm going to tell you is nothing new. What you're going to hear is not new. Okay? And I have this fire burning in me. And all you know is the smoke or the smell, but you don't know the fire. You can't know my fire, right? And so you have to find your fire, right? Something that is, when you feel it, you'll be giddy. You'll be forever energized. But I wish I could be like, here you go, right? But I can't do that. And so I'm being selfish right now as well. Whatever I say to you is really for my kids and my kids' kids and my kids' kids' kids. When they get to that point, they can hear, understand, and read. And so the byproduct is what you're going to hear, right? And at some point, you all have to be selfish before anything else, okay? And so I'm going to talk a little bit about Jesus today, if I get that far. And then sometimes when I say we, I mean myself and my guys and family and past and friends and all that. That's who's included when I say we. Because I get information from all those things and people and that energy. And so, first off, I started before the last time I was here, I was supposed to talk about natural law. I was told I'm not to talk about natural law. It takes too long, it's too in-depth. So I'm going to have a class on natural law. But you yourself need to start learning about natural law. The book is called The Light Shall Set You Free. I've had this book for probably over 20 years. Now there's a YouTube video that talks about natural law. I suggest you search it up and listen to it. And the reason I'm saying that is because I had people come to me and say, some people come for a reading, right? And then once I get into that space, they don't need a reading. They need to know about natural law. You know, what makes what do what. So most people don't need a reading. You just need to read yourself probably. But you need to know about natural law. And I will just read through some of them for you real quick, just so you know. These are one of these books that once you start studying with it and with other people, everything changes. It's like somebody hit the factory reset button. Everything starts reconforming, you know, or recapitulating after that, and you're almost a new person. Natural laws, universal laws. The law of divine oneness. That's a good start. The law of vibration, the law of action, the law of correspondence, the law of cause and effect, the law of compensation. Universal laws, they don't change. All right? The law of attraction, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Sounds pretty deep, but it's not. The law of relativity, the law of polarity, right? The law of rhythm, the law of gender. All right? And so those things you need to know about. And I'll know when you know them, because then you won't have those same questions. Because you'll already have all your answers. All right? And so those are one of those books that changed everything about me. I started talking a bunch about inner engineering, which means you go in and work on yourself, and everything around you seems to fix itself. Whereas just you fix yourself, everything around you has the opportunity to do that. And so inner engineering is something I recommend, right? It's by Sadhguru. your life will never be the same. So if you want to stay the same, you want to sit in your box and be cool, that's okay too. You don't want to read this one. All right. So just telling you, be prepared for change. And so the one I'm into, has anybody ever heard of the Essenes? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I would love that everybody's hands would go up. Right? I was singing a song in my head. And so I started dealing with Jesus a long time. And I put it aside for a while because I started doing all this natural healing and all this spiritual work. And I put it away because I was getting ready-made answers when I ask a question. Right? This is my problem. Okay, go to page 5. That's your answer. I have this problem. Okay, go to chapter 10. That's your answer. And so at some space that didn't work for me. Okay? And so I started doing my own research and stuff. And of course, it got me back to that book, the Bible, which then started to make sense to me with all these other perspectives. Right? The lost books of the Bible. If you haven't heard about those or read those, you got half the story. Right? So there's all that kind of stuff that led me back to the Bible. And in the beginning, I didn't see myself in the Bible. When I was sitting in church every Sunday, Sunday school every Sunday, I think it was a weeknight, Wednesday, it didn't make sense to me. I didn't see myself in it. You know, for lack of a better word, Jesus wasn't that color to me when they were telling me all this stuff. And so I had to do all my own research. And so now I love that person called Jesus. Did we know that Christ wasn't his last name? Really? And so now that man means more to me than a lot of other people. Because when I started doing my research, you know, I checked out the area where he was working, and so Africa. And so, I saw myself, okay, now, so I'm in the Bible. They're talking about me too, right? And so I started to incorporate that information back into my reality. And then I started dealing with Native American information and energy. And then it started to do with spirit and spiritualism. And then this man kept popping in. And so we know as spiritualists, we're bigger than that. We're just defining it for a moment, right? We do healing. Hands-on healing, hands-off healing, energetic healing. That man did that too, right? It's written it was written in that book, the Bible. So, makes sense to me. He used to give messages, right? I think there was a story he talked about this lady was cheating on her husband and stuff, and he brought that information forward, and they were shocked. And so what? He gave messages. Who does that? We as spiritualists, we charter that information. That's what we do, right? And so that man came into this. So to me, Jesus was a spiritualist, right? Christianity didn't happen till after he was gone, after he passed away. So really, he wasn't a Christian. Right? And so for me, I wanted to go back to what got that man to that place. How did he get there? Right? If I listened to other people, he came out of the woodwork, boop, started doing miracles, and all of that. Didn't make sense. Now it makes sense. Now I started talking about natural law. That's how he did all this stuff. He just knew the laws of the universe. And then you can make manna out of ectoplasm or the energy that's around us. So really, those aren't miracles. That was done by natural law, which means everybody can do it. Not just one guy, not just me. Everybody has the capability of doing all those things. Once you get to your chakras, and I'm not going to go into physical stuff, once you get to your chakras and your aura, you understand how you can manipulate your own stuff to be able to manifest these things, right? And so I have a certain kind of energy. So when you leave here, you're going to be giddy. Be forewarned, you're going to be giddy. The problem is sustainability. How can you keep that energy going and going and going and going? How can you do that? Because you can do it on your own. You can do it on your own. And so that's why you have to learn about all your bodily systems and natural law, and then you'll be able to find your own path through all the clutter, all the smoke, all the smells that you're getting from me and everybody else around you. So there's nothing that's impossible.